Kill the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for our legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the pack of Lewiz.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. We still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding cause we all came from hunger pain.
Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down. Bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today all year, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right. You best believe it. I ain't telling you no lies. On screen, man. Check it out. NERDSoul doing that barbershop thing. We done opened up the shop so we can talk about Halo, the series, Paramount Plus, episode 4. We're getting into Homecoming. There is a lot of stuff going on now. We got a good setup. And now we're finally, after the good setup, we're getting into some things. We're getting into some heavy themes. We're getting into some emotion. We're getting into some division, all right, in the ranks. So shout out to you if you're in the chat early. Shout out to anyone who comes through on the live stream or on the replay. Do not sleep, you know what I'm saying? Your support is very much appreciated. All right, but as they all say, we gotta get started. We gotta get started with this review, yo. And the review, the first thing I'm gonna talk about is Miranda. Miranda is, you know what? Miranda actually makes a little turn on this episode because we see her starting off looking at the Spartans like things. And we'll line this up with Kira. Is it Kira? It's Kira 125, right? Or Kiva 125. I'll figure that out. I'll look it up and make sure I don't mess up her name. But Kira 125, what up, King? What up, King Hebrew? We'll get into the Spartans, especially with Kira, as it ties into her side. But the cool thing with Miranda is that at least she seems willing to change her perspective on the Spartans at the very least, and even her position on, I guess even her position on how she relates to them. Like not only what they are, but what they are to her and what she'll be to them. And when we first see him, she's just like, hey, look, I'm trying to get this, trying to get this artifact to work. Come over here, touch it. And it's more like just get over here, touch it, do whatever. But of course, Kira, and matter of fact, let me check and make sure it's Kira. Is it Kira? Let me see. See. Because I want to make sure it's Kira or if Kira's the right one. Because Kira, I believe, is the one that took off the emotional pellet. But until I figure that one out, we'll say Kira for now. But the cool thing in this is that we see a very stark difference in even her demeanor, her speech patterns, and also her body language, almost immediately. And of course, she saw Master Chief cut out his emotional pellet just, I guess, yesterday. TV time gets funny about how it's been a day, has it been 2 days? But I'm assuming like yesterday. So she saw him cut out his emotional pellet, and so she cuts out hers. And immediately you see the look in her eyes change. And sorry, Kai125. So there we go. Sorry, apologies. What up, Garris George? What up? What up? Nice to see you. So Kai125 is the one that starts to see differently, starts to feel differently, starts to experience differently. And even when the other character, what is her name? Because it's Kai, and then there's another, there's two other Spartans, but basically Kai looks at the other Spartan like, hey, you know what I'm saying, Riz 028. So Kai looks at Riz, and Riz is like, yo, what are you doing? Are you all right? And she's like, I'm fine, you know, I'm cool. But you see her almost immediately as she's going through the mundane task of like cleaning your gun. And if anyone's ever cleaned their gun before, it's kind of mundane. I mean, it's nothing, you're cleaning something. So it's not like this fantastical. I know on movies it looks all cool. It's like, and they have music behind it. And when you're cleaning your gun, it's kind of like a basic, sort of mundane task. And she's going through this mundane task, but since her pellet has been removed, she sees like the grease or the oil that I guess would go on the slide of the rifle's barrel. She uses that to color her hair, and immediately, Garris George says, "Should it be that easy to remove your chip?" We'll get into that in a second. So we see how, you know, she immediately changes. So back to Miranda. The thing that's cool with Miranda is that after Kai is like, look, we're not just robots. Miranda, and she threatens, well, not really threatens her, but kind of like makes sure she has to put skin in the game by touching the artifact while Miranda is in there with her, because she's been like, oh, I gotta be behind the safety glass and everything, kind of like how her mama do it. And Kai was like, nah, like, no, like, you ain't better than us or worse than us. We work for the same people. We, you know what I'm saying? We all in this together. And after her telling her that, we see Miranda slowly change. And Miranda, who's been largely insecure, childish, you know, immature, we see grow a little bit. And we see her realize how much information and how valuable Spartans are outside of just shooting things. Because she even says herself, like, oh, yeah, you guys spend the most time with the Covenant. You know, they even flew the Covenant Corvette back, I guess. So, you know, there's so many things so much knowledge they have, but people only want to use them as a hammer. And I believe even with their pellets in, Riz and Vanek, both of them also enjoyed being asked questions about what they do, because even though they still have their pellets, when they talked about their hunting and everything and their training, you see a difference in their demeanor, even though those two still have their emotional pellets. So Miranda, I have to give it to her this episode. She's made a pretty decent turn. And then also saying that, you know, Kai saying that we're kind of like sisters because we're essentially the children of Halsey, or the children of her, you know, experiments or projects or whatever. And now we're in a similar position where we're side by side, and we've both been kind of reared by the same woman in different ways. And we get to see Miranda saying, like, you know, I always looked at you as, you know, these people that were sort of taking my mother away from me. And, you know, then she sees how cruel she was to them. So we find out that there's a very interesting connection that could be made if she's open to it. And I think this could be a little fissure in UNSC, or at least between Miranda and Halsey in general. And I like it. I like Miranda's growth this episode. She had the dumb face a couple times, but it's understandable. And shouts to her. She had the dumb face on, like I said, but shouts to her. Now, Uh, let's get into the real review. All right, let's go on and get to the nitty gritty. We got some annoying people. We got some cool people. We got some people sweating bullets. But the first thing I'll tack is shout out to King Hebrew saying the room is dope. Thank you. Garris George says, should it be that easy to remove your chip? I guess yes and no. Here's why I say yes and no. Yes, it should be that easy. So if Halsey or one of the doctors ever need to get to it, but then also no, because they can actually reach it. But without having the knowledge of the emotional pellet or what it even does, they wouldn't even know it was there to remove it in the first place, I guess. But, of course, Soren told him about it, told Master Chief, and then Master Chief did it, and then, of course, Kai saw it. So now you have this kind of slow awakening amongst the Spartans. And that's why I asked this question, do you think the Spartans will split? Meaning Master Chief and Kai on this side, and Vanek and Riz on this side. And we got 75% of the poll saying yes. I think we're gonna see that coming in the future. I think it'll be, I can see a certain respect level, like, hey, look, sort of what John did for Soren. Like, okay, look, we'll give y'all 5 minutes to leave, but after that, you on your own kind of thing. And I can kind of see that playing again with history kind of rhyming or repeating in that way. Because I can see the level of respect they have for Master Chief, but also the fear they have in leaving. So I can see where they'll let him and Kai go, but kind of like not attack them, sort of like, like just go and we'll turn our backs and, we didn't see it and y'all just go. But after this, you on that side, we on this side kind of thing. So yeah, I can see that happening, Garris. I can see that. So that's something that I think could play out very well, say in the next season, because I'm guessing this season will end with John finally leaving UNSC, maybe. I'm thinking that's where we're going to end because we have, I believe, 9 episodes. So we're sort of in the mid-season right now with episode 4/5. I'm expecting something big to happen next episode because we're going to be getting into the kind of sort of over the hill heading towards the finale. So let's, let's get this out the way. Let's talk about Quan. Okay, so Quan gets on my nerves. I'm gonna go on and say why. I covered it last episode. A lot of what pained me last episode is what pains me this episode. Writers do this in other shows too. This isn't the only show that they do it in. But when they provide leverage to somebody that really has no leverage, because you see her, she talks loud, she gets smart with everyone in her path. She's self-righteous with everyone. She actually has no leverage. She has no money. She has no power. She has no army. But she talks as if she does, and there's never any repercussions for how crazy she be talking in them streets. When Venture, who killed all her daddy's followers or whatever, is still rolling and controlling the whole set in CB4. You know what I'm saying? So I just hate when writers do that because it's like, in real life, she would have been killed. Like, yo, look, she didn't try to change her hair. She didn't wear a mask over her face. She just walked around with a hood on. A hood is not enough to hide your identity, bruh. She didn't do nothing. She didn't try to wear extra clothing to make herself look bigger than she used to be. Like, she didn't do anything to visually throw you off. People were just like, oh, Quan, what's up? How you doing? Like, it's annoying. It's annoying. And also, the way she's not able to understand that, at least for now, you've lost. You know, now maybe you'll have another chance, maybe next year, maybe in 5 years, but right now, Venture's running everything. Your dad's gone. All of his generals or whatever is gone. Anyone who's left has been beaten into submission. Like, yo, you need to either just realize that, hey, Madrigal is gone, or you need to realize that it's time to regroup. But to try to fight now is not going to work. And even the pompous nature of when they're respecting her father's passing, they have the funeral, and she's there. Like kind of singing. This lady, she's there singing. It's like this beautiful vocalization, and everybody's sad and sullen, and they're paying their respects to Kwan Ha's father. Kwan comes in there like, this is all they could do for my daddy. It's like, what you mean all they could do? They're under a dictator who's wanted this man dead forever, who's hunted down all of his followers. What do you expect us to be able to do? We can't throw no parade, man. This dude is shooting people down in the streets. Bruh, you lucky we were able to do this. Like, and the only reason we were able to do this is probably because Venture wants to see who else might show up that he needs to kill. So the pompous, arrogant, entitled nature. Honestly, I wish she would have died instead of her father. Her father is a character I would be interested in seeing in this situation. Or, like I said in the last episode, if Kwan Ha's character was written differently, if she was actually a fighter, instead of being someone who, like, she has no skills. She's just the, I guess, the pampered princess of Madrigal or whatever, but she has no skills. She did all this stuff. We need to fight. We need to fight. We need to fight. Then the assassin comes in. Guess what? No fight. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, realize what you can and can't do and be real with yourself. Madrigal's lost. At least for now, it's lost. Now, you might have a chance to regroup off-world the next year or two, come back, take your land. But right now, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Now, Garrett George says, way too much enthusiasm, not enough common sense. Thank you. And shouts to Geeky Andre saying, Kwan needs to just shut up and listen to Soren. Nothing she said has worked. Thank you. Even her auntie tried to put sense in her. She ain't listening. And then her auntie was like, look, everything that glitters ain't gold. Your dad want all that. She was like, what? What are you saying? So, she's annoying. Now, shouts to Soren. Soren did keep her safe. He had, you know what I'm saying? He had the blicky on the side. Now, Soren, here's my issue with you, my brother. Didn't you think that they was going to steal your ship? And this is another thing. All right. Okay. In space, whenever you park your ship, like, ships be getting robbed and stolen all the time. Like, are there locks on the ship doors? Like, I just want to know, like, how are people protecting? Like, okay, so, like, if you take your car, you go to the store, you go to, I don't know, Target, Walmart, Kohl's, Vons, Food Line, wherever you go, all right? When you park it, like, people can try stealing it, but they gotta, like, break something to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's mad cars out there, ain't nobody doing nothing. One spaceship, all right, just one. Yo, that joint be stripped for parts. They out there like, man, it's cold out there in them streets, man. It's cold. Soren came back. They was out there for what, like a day? A half a day he came back? They was out there having a flea market at his ship. Like, bruh, man, it ain't easy. Like, where, okay, does he have an alarm? Does it, you know what? This is what, yeah, bad pirate. Garrett George, you right on that one. All right, so peep this. From now on, all right, everybody, listen to me, all right? When you, instead of parking your ship, bring your ship down, get off the ship, put your ship back in autopilot mode so that all it does is just rotate around that specific planet. So it's never on the ground. And then when you need to get back, call your ship, your ship will be like, boop, boop, and then your ship goes, whoosh, and then you get back on it, and then nobody can steal it because you didn't land it. You know what I'm saying? You put that joint in like stasis mode or something. So you know what I'm saying? Just let it orbit, get its orbit on. You know what I'm saying? Go down, get off orbit. You know what I'm saying? Slid it back up, be like, whoop, and then it'll just orbit around the planet. You'll be good. There ain't nobody gonna be stealing it. You know what I'm saying? And then also put like a, I don't know, put like a can you get an ADT for your ship or something? I don't, look, you need to lock the doors, all right? You know, and get, I don't know. I know this is Halo, but can you get like an Android to like just protect your ship like short term or something? Just look, guys, I'm just trying to help y'all. I'm trying to help y'all out while y'all getting y'all flying on. You know what I'm saying? Geeky Andre said, I always thought about that. Can't you install a security system or a force field? Thank you. Like it seemed like people just walk up on your ship, be like, hello, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Take the steering wheel off, take the radio deck out. You know, it's a cold world. It's a cold world out there. You know, it's not easy trying to be a pirate on a planet that you don't run, and also trying to park in secret. Because homie was like, she was like, we park far away. He was like, we got to park far away. I was like, but if you park far away, then you ain't going to be able to check up on your whip. You know what I'm saying? Garris George says, this is why sci-fi needs more black writers. Thank you. Like, I solved that problem mad easily. Like, look, come down, hit the button, boop, boop, and then it goes in orbit, and we cool. And then whenever I need to come back, I hit the button, comes out of orbit, comes down. You know what I'm saying? It's linked to the key. So then you come down to the key, you jump on, and you can have like different modes. You can have like the O poop mode where it doesn't even fully land. It just come down and drop like a little ladder for you. Like if you really got to get out, or it can make a full land if you just like, you know, if you loading on some cargo. You know what I'm saying? So you can have two modes for it. Boom, we solved it. All right, Soren, because I don't want another bald-headed brother, especially in space, having to deal with problems like this. All right, that's all I'm saying. Bokeem, we here. All right, you and I, we here, man. I'm trying to keep you safe. All right, now, speaking of Soren, I did like seeing him get his action on. I would have liked to see a little more, but I understand this ain't his show. But the gun thing is also an issue. Soren, all right, look, all right. You used to be a Spartan, so you got the training. You got the know-how. You got the metal suit, the armor and everything. Why are you carrying a revolver that has at most 6 shots? Why would you handicap yourself? As a UNSC Spartan, you are used to having your sidearm that's like magnetically locked to your hip, which I really like. I want to. Do they have that in real life where you can just magnetically like put it under your pants and just smack it on the side? That's kind of cool. And then you have your either battle rifle or assault rifle that has like 500 bullets. All right, mad bullets. What are you doing? Okay, what, my man. What are you doing? Bring it in. What do you do? What is going on in your head? All right, where you feel that to protect someone in a place where a dictator is now controlling the spot, all you need is 6 bullets before you reload. Now, on the side, Soren got aim though. He got that aim. He was like, block up. Like none of his, he ain't shoot no bricks, all right? No bricks, all right? But, my man, all right, your revolver should be like, okay, your handgun should be like your backup. All right, your handgun should not be like your main gun. I know, like, okay, all right. So you watch James Bond, all right, and Bond, he got a tuxedo on, so he can't be having like an assault rifle or any kind of carbine or any kind of what they would call a long gun, but that's not the best term for it. But nothing like that. That's semi-automatic in any nature. I understand because he's only wearing a tuxedo, but if you're kind of like the pirate military, ex-military dude. Like, bruh, I would expect that you have a revolver and another handgun that's semi-automatic, something in the vein of like a, I don't know, at least like your standard Glock or something, or like a Springfield XD or something like that, and then have a assault rifle or a carbine of some sort. Maybe even like a battle rifle of some sort that would give you a little more versatility. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Soren. But of course, we have to write it this way because Soren in real life would have killed that assassin full stop off top, and we need that assassin for later. So, understandable. Shout out to Geeky Andre saying Soren is a former Spartan turned pirate that lives on a black market asteroid. I'm sure there's other guns and weapons he can access besides the revolver. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like there's regular people that ain't Spartans that got better guns than him. Man, look, that joint. All I'm saying is let me handle the scenes with Soren, all right? Because y'all ain't giving him the respect. Because even when he said like, yo, all right, I'm gonna take you back to get this money, he should have been like, all right, let me go on and get a little something. Matter of fact, let me go on and unretire my Spartan armor, because on the real, I don't know if it's gonna get hectic out here. And I need to have that joint just in case. You know what I'm saying? Let me throw on my helmet, throw on my suit. All right, my full suit, not just a cool jacket. All right. I digress. So, all right, cool. Let's get off magical. Don't worry about magical. We done with that. All right. How is he probably sweating bullets right now? Because we're going to Ednus 2 or Arachnus. What's the name of that planet? Hold up, let me see. What's the name of this planet? Is it Arachnus or Ednus? Arachnus? Point is, the other doctor done already told her, if he finds out the whole truth, all right, it ain't gonna be good for none of us. All right, Arachnus 2, excuse me. All right, so I already found out, like, yo, look, if he learned the truth, all right, it's not gonna be good for none of us. All right, he gonna be mad, he gonna be angry, you know what I'm saying? He gonna be spitting flames. This woman, the whole time, he digging around, he finding drawings, he remembering his mama and daddy, and she just sitting there sweating. No, and John never recognized. Well, no, hold on. John does recognize, because he saw her in that memory, and he immediately looked at her like, "You lying, man." You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. It's the all ages show. But it like, you know that Halsey knows time is probably short with John. And I think right about now, at the end of this episode, she's probably ready to shut him down. But as he remembers, you see this life of a kid that seemed to be happy with his parents. And with the I guess the life he was living, it seemed to be happy and joyful for, his mom seemed happy, he seemed happy, daddy seemed happy, he had a little dog, and he would just kind of like hang out in the woods and play and stuff. And he was drawing those drawings, and his dad made him bury them. The only thing I can guess is that daddy was like, look, if they find out what you looking at or what you drawing or what you thinking of, they'll take you from us. Yes, they did. And I think we about to find out, just like Halsey was coming over doing that coin flip. That coin flip was a test of some sort to find his, I don't know, cognitive ability, or maybe his blessed wood nature, or maybe, I don't know, something special about him. And she was like, let's keep this a secret. Here's what I think really happened. Halsey and the UNSC killed his mom and daddy so they could take him and put him into the Spartan program. Now, you ain't heard it from me. All right? You ain't heard that from me. But I'm gonna tell you that's what happened. All right, so when he find this out, Halsey gonna be sweating because we already dude was walking around the house. He wasn't even responding to her when she spoke to him. Like she would be like, what do you see? What's here? What's there? What's around you? He was like, girl, I ain't talking to you no more. All right, because I know you've been lying, and I'm just peeling like the first couple layers of your lies. All right, so I don't even want to hear your fork-tongued mouth no more. All right, but let me digress. You know what I'm saying? Because the devil is a lie. All right, but shouts to Geeky Andre says John is figuring out his past like Jason Bourne. When he puts it all together, watch out, Halsey and UNSC. Yeah. So what I think is going to happen is he's gonna get his remember on. Kai is gonna get her remember on, and I think Riz and Vanek are gonna be too scared to find out what goes on and kind of cling to what's known instead. Because this, awakening people be like, the truth shall set you free. That ain't no guarantee. The truth will let you know what happened. The truth could destroy you mentally, emotionally. Sometimes, so on that side, I can definitely see Vanek and Riz being like, I don't want to know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm fine right here, and the UNSC is all I know and all I need kind of thing. Because like they said, when Halsey was talking to her clone, they were like only 35 kids survived. So it's like, well, how many did y'all start with? You know what I'm saying? Like how many kids did y'all most likely kidnap and kill? Or kidnap and put through, trials or whatever that ended up killing them. So, look, Halsey is not going to be good. And the way she's standing behind John at the end of this episode looks like she might be on some Cortana, shut him down. And he'd be like, what you saying? You know what I'm saying? He'll turn around like Blade in the first movie, like, mother, y'all stupid. Like, he might do that. But she also needs him to touch and activate this thing. So she's playing a very dangerous game because she needs him, but he's dangerous. At least to her, because their whole relationship is built on a lie. And he's probably going to kill her. So, final thoughts. Oh, man. Final thoughts are, I think we're in a good place. We've had 2 setup episodes, had a little bit of action, 2 setup episodes, and we've finally seen Venture up close. We've seen Venture, we see him up close now. All right? Venture put it out for the ladies. Venture said, don't sleep. All right? Spartan ain't the only one with a body. All right? Venture put the booty out. All right? He put her booty out for the ladies. Even when the assassin came, he stood up out that water. He said, yeah, right? I got you. All right? You have a need. But she was like, nah, how about you take this towel though? So we don't know. Maybe the water was cold. I don't know. Or maybe she was just like, yo, I ain't trying to get hurt. You holding. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. We don't know what was down there. Maybe it was strong, maybe it was weak. I don't know. But whatever it was, he ain't scared to show what he working with. All right? He did what he had to do. So I think we're in a good place of setting up the stage for the turn, at least for John and Kai. Last episode and this episode, great setup. So now I'm ready for some action, yo. Even though we might get one more episode of setup because we got to see where McKee is in relation to Madrigal, but I think it's all going to go down on Madrigal in some kind of way, shape, or form. And Geeky Andre, yeah, Halsey's own daughter basically described her as ice cold. So yeah, you know, that's pretty much it. And she dresses like a scientist, Emma Frost. You know what? Yeah, kinda. You know what I'm saying? And she has that bacon hair that I can't stand, but she has the bacon hair. It looks like bacon on the side. Whatever. It's not for me. But anyway, with that said, oh man. With that said, NERD. SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places, TikTok, podcast. You can holler at me. However you like it. You like that Facebook? I'm there. All right. You like that Twitters? All right. I'm there. If you like that TikToks, I'm there. If you want to just get your listen on, you like, man, hey, look, I ride the train to work. I need to listen to my NERDSoul. All right. Well, I got the podcast too. All right. Do not sleep. Feel free, all right, to support your boy. All right. Like, comment, subscribe. Share this to your folks. Also, if you want to get your gift on, if you want NERDSoul gifts, free comic books, all stuff like that, join the Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Feel free. Look, Garrett's George will tell you, you get gifts. All right? People be getting gifts. Like, that's what I'll be doing. Also, shouts to Blurtish, you know what I'm saying? Dope comic book store. I'm teaming up with them to do some cool stuff, which I will announce in the coming months that I'm super duper excited about. So tonight we have Young Justice at 5 p.m. PST. And until then, we're going to leave y'all with some dope beats, some black comics, and a word of advice. A word of advice. I think if you lie to children about kidnapping and killing their parents, don't never let them learn the truth. Yeah, I think that's the best advice I can give to someone like Halsey. Or just don't kidnap kids and kill their parents. Anyway, I'll let y'all later. Peace. We out.
You got to know that if you keep dwelling in the past, you will remain in the past. Can I get a fucking yeah?
Good day, gentlemen. This is a pre-recorded briefing made prior to your departure, in which for security reasons of the highest importance has been known on board during the mission. Now that you are in Jupiter's space, and the entire crew is revived, it can be told you. 18 months ago, the first evidence of intelligent life off the Earth was discovered. It was buried 40 feet below the lunar surface, near the crater Patron. Except for a single, very powerful radio emission aimed at Jupiter, the 4-million-year-old black monolith has remained completely inert. Its origin and purpose still a total mystery.
You're listening to my daddy, All Gorilla